What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. I have been away, not because I wanted to. I've been fighting a cold for a minute now. I think it's finally over. It's nearing the home stretch. At the very least, I can talk a little bit more so I can do some videos. I've been chomping at the bit, like, oh man, there's some exciting stuff I want to talk about, but I have no voice. Probably needed to call up CM Punk so he could be the voice of the voiceless and help me out. I think his schedule's free, so maybe he could have filled in for me. Anyhow, lots of stuff to talk about. I feel like I've been neglecting my fellow G.I. Joe fans out there, so I want to start with G.I. Joe. I kind of feel like we're in the middle of a G.I. Joe onslaught, which is weird because for so many months in these last 2 years, it feels like it's been this barren desert where there's no figures coming for months and months on end. But now we're starting to get a bunch of everything. The Python Patrol Bat, Cobra Trooper, Tiger Force Outback, now in stores. Also, Target stores are starting to get Tomax, Zaymont, the Crimson Twins, and Stalker. As always, it's much better to get these figures from Target because their price tag is still $19.99 on the shelves. So finding them for that price would be awesome and amazing. I paid for Stalker full price because it's Stalker. For the Crimson Twins, getting there for $20 a piece would be so much better. But in addition to those guys, the Tiger Force, the Python Patrol figures, got a couple emails from Hasbro Pulse, who does not clearly care one iota about my wallet. They're like, hey, good news, we're dropping Serpentor. And I know we said he's coming in December, but we've got him for you early. So now you've got a reason to be thankful. The Cobra Emperor is now coming way sooner than we told you earlier. And then a few days later, by the way, his main henchman, his number one lackey, his co-creator, Dr. Mindbender, is also coming out way sooner than we anticipated. And I was like, oh man, it is time to start putting the balls in the air, the checks, the coins, the dollars, do some wallet juggling, because that's a lot of pre-order money coming out right at once, right before Black Friday. So it's kind of this tricky thing of, you guys couldn't give a brother a little heads up a little bit sooner. Fortunately, there's enough time, able to do some shaky maneuvering, get everything squared away, but I'd really appreciate if these pre-orders just stayed at the pre-order date they said they were coming, as opposed to months in advance. So anyway, got Serpentor, Dr. Mindbender coming. Hopefully this opens up, means a few more of these figures will be available for those of you who missed out on them. I know some of you still weren't able to get them when they did that second round of pre-orders for those guys. Gotta assume Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender are way too important for Hasbro to just go, sorry you guys missed out. Figure at some point we'll get those guys back out. Hopefully for those of you who want the air chariot, you can still get him. I don't think Dr. Mindbender with all his extras is nearly as important, although that box art is really sweet. And the box artist that did both Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender, clearly a comic book fan. Hopefully we get to see more work from that artist, because those are the best ones we've seen in the Classified Series line so far. Alright, well, in addition to that, hey, what else is coming up? We know we've got CoverGirl and Falcon. The rate they've been going, we may see these figures much sooner. I'd anticipate seeing Zorana, Dusty, and the Crimson Guard any week at this rate, because we've still got a few more weeks left in 2022. So I'm expecting them. Maybe we'll see CoverGirl, Falcon, Outback sooner than I thought, but it's kind of like a G.I. Joe onslaught right now, and I'm not mad about it. We saw some high-res imagery of Big Ben. He looks really great. I love that rugged head sculpt they did with him. Saw more details on that rock and roll figure. Really sweet. Again, I still wish he was in all green, captured that original 13 look, and just rock that out. Rock it out. Rock it out. Alright, so I started this with the very first wave of G.I. Joes, but then the Hasbro team just kept releasing more figures, announcing more characters. It was like, I need to slow down or hurry up. Took the former approach. So a lot of these names have been knocked off, and I decided instead of doing a separate video on the 1983 and the 1984 figures that I wanted to see, I just make one combination deal. Put it up to you guys. Let me know which one figure you want out of the 1983 series, and then what one figure you want from the 84 wave. They've done a really good job of knocking out 83. There's not a lot of character choices left. It's like on this wheel, it's like, all right, well, who's left at this point? We've already got Gung Ho, Snow Job's coming, Tripwire's coming, Torpedo's coming, Cover Girl's knocked out too. So it's not a lot of choices. And I think I mentioned, maybe I forgot, Snow Job, but the wave is pretty much covered. So who's left? The original Paratrooper Airborne. Gotta have him. Airborne just has a great outfit. He looks cool. And you can team him up with Spirit to go rescue Snake Eyes from Firefly and Destro. Really great figure. Really good look. I can't wait to get him in this line. We've also got Doc. We need a medic at this point because, geez, these guys should be getting shot up by a few Cobra Troopers, even if they just get a lucky shot in. And then we've got the two vehicle drivers who are left. Ace and Wild Bill. These are tricky because I feel like these are two vehicle drivers that are super synonymous with their vehicles. Wild Bill, of course, the Dragonfly. I feel like the Dragonfly is a vehicle that could work at retail just based on how they could pack it up. It should just be a long tube basically. And we could get Wild Bill in his classic outfit. If Hasbro needs to go the HasLab route for it, which I don't think they need to, we could get a solo release, Wild Bill in his Sunbow comic book cartoon look, and then we could go with the HasLab and have him in his toy figure look. So I think that's a way we could get both of them. But again, I really, really, really hope we can avoid having the Dragonfly going the HasLab route, because it's expensive and as unlikely as it probably is, I really want to see the Sky Striker as a HasLab. And we've already seen that with 3.75 line as a HasLab. But Ace really needs a Sky Striker. I mean, he is the fighter pilot extraordinaire of the Joe team. To not have him with the jet that he pilots all the time, kind of is like, all right. It's like those cartoon episodes where Ace was walking around. It's like, well, Ace isn't any good here. Why is he here? Or Slipstream, when they're just kind of walking around with no vehicles. Like, yeah, they're cool, but don't you need to be in a jet flying and providing the air support? So that's left. That's everyone who's left on the Joe squad from 83. So again, Airborne, Doc, Wild Bill, Ace. Let me know which one of those four you want to see next up. Then we're moving on to 84. And 84 has a few more of those guys left. Even though we've got Tiger Force Recondo, we still need regular version. We need Blowtorch. We need Ripcord. And then we need Mutt and Junkyard. And I am shocked that Mutt and Junkyard still have not been teased, leaked, revealed, just shown the prototype, because it's like those are two really popular characters. And Mutt has one of the best outfits of the Joe team, just in general. I love to see him, see what they do. They've been gearing these guys up so much that I know they would do some really creative, cool stuff with Mutt. Maybe his guard on his arm can have a few bite marks when he's playing around with Junkyard. That could be kind of cool. His baton. There's lots of cool stuff they could do with Mutt just from what they packed in terms of the details with him. And I'd love to see them do some creative stuff with Junkyard so he can pose, move, maybe even have swappable heads so we can get a snarling, mad Junkyard and a playful, happy-go-lucky Junkyard. But come on, we got Freedom, we got Timber, we need Junkyard next. And we even got Polly coming, so come on, let's get it going here. But then 84 also kind of pivots into more signature Cobras that we're still lacking. Then we've also got our vehicle drivers, and there's a lot of them in this point. Copperhead's already coming, but we got Wild Weasel, one of my favorites. And again, he's very much like the counterpart to Ace. I need the Cobra Rattler in HasLab form and Wild Weasel to pilot it. So I'd love to see that. Maybe because we've already got the Sky Striker in the 3.75, we go with the Rattler with the HasLab next for the Classified Series line. Hopefully that's another option. So we got the Stinger driver, which means, hello, we should probably get a Stinger or Vamp at some point really soon. Then Thunder on the Joe squad. Deep Six. I feel like Deep Six is probably the easiest vehicle driver to do because the Shark really should be a retail vehicle. There's no reason we can't get that, just a kind of flat vehicle, canopy, and an open slot down at the bottom so another figure, Deep Six, Torpedo, can hang down at the bottom and get released on those undersea missions. Shark's a fun looking vehicle, and it'll be really cool to have in the collection. Shouldn't be too expensive, maybe $90, $115, whatever. I want the Shark. Hopefully we get that from the Pulse. And then of course Cutter, for my ultimate pipe dream of having the Whale as a HasLab. I'm not going to go any further, any bigger with any larger scale vehicles on this line, but the Whale is definitely my holy grail of classified series vehicles I'd love to see. And Cutter's a cool character. The Whale's a great looking vehicle, mounted up, loaded up with lots of Joes. Hopefully we can see that, but that's it. So let me know who you want. I want to see in that 83 set between Airborne, Doc, Ace, Wild Bill, then going on to the 84 series, regular school, old school classic, Rakondo, Blowtorch, Mutton Junkyard, Cutter, Deep Six, Stinger Driver, Thunder, Wild Weasel. And then that's it. And let me know which vehicle you'd want to see in HasLab while we're at it, because there's several in the running, in the mix at this point. Dragonfly, Sky Striker, Rattler, Shark, Whale. Let me know which one you want to see in there too. Let's have a lot of fun with it. So it's an exciting time once again to be back in the Joe Classified series. I am really hoping Hasbro finds, oh shoot, we have 400 more Serpentors and Dr. Mindbenders we can put up for pre-order for everybody who missed out on the second round of figures. So hopefully you can get them, and hopefully you can still add them to your collection without having to resort to secondary market resellers who are just trying to get a quick payday before Black Friday and Christmas. So my voice is going, as you can tell. So that's going to be it for this one. But let me know what you want to see on that 83 and 84 lineup, and I'll be back very soon. Thank you as always for watching. This episode of Laos Figure Files has been filed.